There are a lot of issues that comes into mind when someone talks about youth sexuality. One thing that is very critical to start thinking about it is, do young people, do the youth themselves have a say into the issues of sexuality? That's very critical, because most often young people are treated as passive participants. They are seen as innocent beings who are just going through a process where they are just supposed to be quiet, where they're supposed to listen to the adults, where they're just supposed to get information. So for me, when it comes or someone asks about youth and sexuality, I start thinking about where is the role of young people when it comes to sexuality. What are they supposed to be doing when it comes to their sexuality? Not only sexuality, but their sexuality. And I also think about what is the role of the community, in particular parents, when it comes to youth sexuality. I also start thinking about young people themselves, friends, peers. What is their role in shaping each other when it comes to sexuality, sexual identity? What is the role of a young person in shaping his or her sexual identity? Is he free to discuss? Does he have a free choice to choose what kind of sexual identity do I want as a young person? So when we talk about youth sexuality, there are a whole lot of issues. It also kind of, I think, tempt me to think at a global level. What is the current scenario? Do our leaders have that commitment to make sure that young people discuss the issues of their sexuality freely? Because in most times, when we talk about sexuality, it seems like we are talking sexuality on behalf of young people. Most oftentimes, we forget that young people themselves, they've got a say. Young people themselves are not passive. They've got a role to play when it comes to issues of sexuality. So we look, I think, at a global level. You look, I think, at the most quoted, I think, conference, the ICPD, 1994, Cairo. What does it say about sexuality of young people? Where are the young people in the picture? A lot that you hear about that conference is government commitment, wanting to take sexual reproductive health and rights to another level. And I also tempted to think that when we are talking about sexual and reproductive health rights, where is the right component when we talk about youth and sexuality? Or we just talk about sexual and reproductive health. We don't emphasize the rights part. This is the right for young people to have access to information on their sexuality, the right for young people to participate freely, to have a choice. What kind of family planning do I want to choose? What kind of family planning do I want to use? And when do I want to start? And in terms of marriage, when do I want to get married? What kind of life things do I want to go through before I start engaging in sexual activities? If I choose to start, do I have an option or do I have access to commodities that enhance safer sexual activities? So there are a lot of issues that comes up when we talk about sexuality. We talk about the issue of religion. How has religion influenced and shaped the sexuality of young people? We talk of the issues of culture. Do our parents have that time and platform for young people to go and discuss the issues of sexuality themselves? So there's a lot of issues that comes with the issue when you mention the issue of youth and sexuality.